So, giving myself a little bit of a break from Star Trek Eagle Moss models and catching up on some of my eBay pickups. This is a Grandstand Convertors Deltarian Shuttle. It has also been known as a Diaclone die train from Takara and various other manufacturers, and also Protectron. Now, I picked up a few of the Grandstand Converters in the recent past, as you may recall, and this one hadn't really sort of clocked on my radar, but eBay threw up an auction for it, as it often does, and I've actually gone away and read a little bit about it. I'm quite glad I did, because apparently these are quite breaky. There is a flip-up section here on the front, which it has, which is good because it means it's there, obviously, but apparently if you're too violent with this, you might be able to see this spring here. This apparently is a fairly sort of deadly weapon in and of itself. So if I let it flip up without controlling it, all hell's going to break loose. So I need to be a little bit cautious. So when I started looking at this in the hand, I don't have a box for it, I don't have any accessories for it, which is a bit unusual for me with these Grandstand Converters. But as I say, it was just a sort of random eBay find. So it looked to be in sort of reasonable condition, so I thought, yeah, what the heck. But when I actually got it in the hand, it reminded me all the world of Astro Train, who you may know is a Decepticon Transformer, and I had him as a triple changer back in the original release of Transformers back in the day. And ironically, this is both a train and a space shuttle, so he isn't actually a million miles off being Astro Train, apart from having no robot mode. So this was never a Transformer, but you can sort of see a little bit of Astro Train kind of around the edges, and the way in which he transforms in and out of train mode is not dissimilar. So I'm going to try and attempt his transformation now, which may go horribly wrong, but I'm kind of hoping not, obviously. So apparently, all I have to do is depress these two chrome-ish switches on the top, and that will then cause this to do... Ooh, okay, wow. I forgot, it said it was motorised, there's no batteries in there, it did that by itself. Awesome. Okay. Now then, what sort of overall state is it in? Let's have a look. So they flipped out quite happily, but I believe there are supposed to be tails, a tail section here. I think that's what it's missing. There's a gap there. I think you can see those. There are holes there that probably, yeah. So it is probably missing a little bit off its back. There should have been sort of L-shaped tail fins which you could bring up. So then it would have a sort of a kind of T-shaped tail at the back here, going up there and across and up there and across. But my example is obviously missing those, so it's lost those over time. This little thing comes up, so that's like a gunner's seat. Yeah, so it should come up that high. It's not going to stay put, but at least that's there. And if you had a little figure, you could slot a little figure in there as well. So it is, as I say, it is a gunner's seat as much as anything else. So I'm going to pop that back in because I don't want that to go completely missing. So it's a little bit of a fixer-upper, this one, it appears. But in fairness, the seller might not even have known that. I can't even recall if it said it was complete. I mean, it isn't complete because I believe there are supposed to be some missile pods. Although where you attach them, I don't know. Unless they were actually here. Unless you probably popped missiles in there. So I think they're actually part and parcel of the wing structure, rather than being sort of clip-ons. But I think in the pictures I've seen other things, it looks like something might fit on the end of the wing there, possibly. Yeah. But in here as well, there's room for two figures in there. You've got this cockpit section here as well, which I think comes out in the sort of the train mode is accessible as well. So again, you've got space in there for things. And as you can see, much to my surprise, I'd forgotten it literally automatically pulled this up. That's what I was trying to sort of slow down so it didn't smash, because apparently this is quite breaky plastic, this element here. But it's done quite well. I mean, it's held itself in one piece, which is pretty remarkable considering its age. Looks like it's lost a little bit of a sticker there. This just flipped out of nowhere. That's on a sort of rotating mechanism there. So it looks like, yeah, I don't think if there is one in here, I can't immediately see it. And it didn't want to come out. Just having a look at my phone, I can't, it looks like they used to be, it looks like there's something there, but I suspect that snapped off at some point. But the fact that it's motorised, even now, I mean, this is like sort of 40 years on and it's still able to actually transform under its own power. And that must just be a spring-based mechanism, one assumes. I'm just trying to see, oh yeah, there's Takara here. It says Takara Macau. Can you see there? Just to sort of demonstrate its origins. So these, again, were literally just sort of rebadged, slightly re-stickered, I believe. If you see here, it calls it a D fighter. But this was supposed to be a shuttle. And apparently some of them also said, oh, of course, I know why. Because some of these had stickers on that said D train. So, of course, in this mode, it's the D fighter. Overall, it's the D shuttle. But it has D fighter and D train modes. That makes perfect sense now. That makes perfect sense. I would have loved this as a kid. Because it would have been right up my street. The train element, not so much. But the shuttle element, absolutely. So yeah, that would have been deeply cool to have as a kid, quite frankly. I mean, it's a really good size. You can surprise your friends with it being a train initially. And it's motorised. I mean, Transformers, I don't know if Transformers ever did that. I'm really thinking hard now to think if there are any sort of motorised Transformers. I mean, Omega Supreme maybe, but as we know, he came from sort of this kind of range originally, so maybe that's not that surprising. But I really like that. I have to say, I am a sort of closet fan of these Grandstand Convertors, but perhaps that's in part because these wings can come out a bit further as well. You can actually pull those out. That's as much force as I wish to put on them, but yeah, you can actually pull those out a little bit to get a little bit more width out of the wings. But yeah, overall, I'm really, really happy with that as a concept. Just a really nice example of the sort of ingenuity that was going into toys from that sort of age. Brilliant. So I hope you've enjoyed that quick look at that one. I mean, it's clearly not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not bad either for its age, really. So as a sort of non-mint pickup, I mean, I can't tell you how surprised I was when that started making noises and so what's going on? I'd forgotten that the description I've just read of it did clearly say that it didn't need batteries, it would just do it, and it did. But I wasn't expecting it because it's so old. That's awesome. Now all I have to do is figure out how to fold it back up again. I don't actually know how many more of these I've now got to go because I got the fighter and I got another one and I got a Megatron, so that might be getting on for the range. I'll have to have another look. If anyone's got any recommendations for other ones to look at, that'd be super. But fair dues Grandstand. I think they played a bit of a blinder there, getting this sort of range in, because I could see exactly why they would choose to do it at that particular time. So even if it denied people an Omega Supreme in the UK at that point in time, quite frankly, I can see exactly why they went for it. Because why wouldn't you if you had the opportunity? Absolutely. No, I'm very happy with that one. So with that, I'll leave it there and see what else I need to catch up on. Cheers for now.